and Faraday I have not seen.
How far is called, Forays? What are these so withered and so wild in their attire that look not like the inhabitants of the earth and yet are on't? Live you? Or are you aught that man may question? You seem to understand me by each at once her choppy finger laying upon her skinny lips.
Speak if you can. What are you?
All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Glamis. All hail Macbeth. Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor. All hail Macbeth, that shalt be king hereafter.
Sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or that indeed which outwardly ye show? My noble partner, ye speak of present grace and great prediction of noble having it, of royal hope that he seems fat. To me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me who neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail! 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 Lesser than Macbeth and greater. Not so happy, yet much happier. Thou shalt get kings, though thou be none. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo. Banquo and Macbeth, all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers. Tell me more. By Sinel's death, I know I am Thane of Glamis, but how of Cawdor? The Thane of Cawdor lives, a prosperous gentleman. And to be king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you all this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greeting. Speak, I charge you!
The earth hath bubbles as the water has, and these are of them. Whither are they vanished?
Into the air. And what seemed corporal melted as breath into the wind. Would they had stayed.
Were such things here as we do speak about? Or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason prisoner?
Your children shall be kings.
You shall be king.
And Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so?
To the self-same tune and words.
Hail!
Who's here?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. And when he reads thy personal venture in the rebels' fight, his wonders and his praises do contend which should be thine or his. Silenced with that, in viewing of the rest of the self-same day, he finds thee in the stout Norwegian ranks, nothing afeard of what thyself didst make, strange images of death. As thick as tale came post with post, and every one did bear thy praises in his kingdom's great defense, and pour them down before him.
We are sent to bring thee from our royal master thanks, only to herald thee into his sight, not pay thee.
And as an earnest of a greater honor, he bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor. In which addition, hail most worthy Thane, for it is thine.
What? Can the devil speak true?
Well, Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes?
Who was the Thane lived yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Whether he was combined with those of Norway, or did line the rebel with hidden help and vantage, or that with both he labored in his country's wrack, I know not. But treason's capital, confessed and proved, have overthrown him.
Glamis and Thane of Cawdor. The greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do you not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promise no less to them?
That trusted home might yet enkindle you under the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor. But 'tis strange, and oftentimes do win us to our harm. The instruments of darkness tell us truths, win us with honest trifles, to betray us in deepest consequence. Cousins, a word, I pray you.
Two truths are told as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. I thank you, gentlemen. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success commencing in a truth? I am Thane of Cawdor. If good, why do I yield to that suggestion whose horrid image doth unfix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature? Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose mother yet is but fantastical, shakes so my single state of man that function is smothered in surmise and nothing is but what is not.
See how our partner's rapt?
If chance will have me king, why chance may crown me without my star.
New honors come upon him like our strange garments, cleave not to their mold, but with the aid of use.
Come what come may, time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we stay upon your leisure.
Give me your favor. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered for every day I turn a leaf to read them. Let us toward the king. Think upon what hath chanced, and at more time, the interim having waited, let us speak our free hearts, each to other.
Very gladly.
Till then, enough. Come, friends.
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are not those in commission yet returned?
My liege, they have not yet come back. But I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report very frankly he confessed his treasons, implored your highness pardon, and set forth a deep repentance. Nothing in his life became him like the leaving it. He died as one who had been studied in his death to throw away the dearest thing he owed as 'twere a careless trifle.
There's no art to find a mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman on whom I built an absolute trust. Oh, worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now was heavy on me. Thou art so far before that swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Would thou hadst less deserved, at the proportion both of thanks and payment might have been mine. Only I have left to say, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe, and doing it pays itself. Your highness part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne and state, children and servants, which do but what they should by doing everything safe toward your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make thee full of growing. Noble Banquo, that hath no less deserved, and must be known no less to have done so, let me enfold thee and hold thee to my heart.
There if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you whose places are the nearest, know we will establish our estate upon our eldest, Malcolm, whom we name hereafter the Prince of Cumberland. Which honor must not unaccompanied invest him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers. From hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
The rest is labor which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. I humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
Prince of Cumberland, that is a step on which I must fall down, or else o'erleap, for in my way it lies. Stars, hide your fires, let not light see my black and deep desires. The eye winketh the hand, yet let that be, which the eye fears when it is done to see.
True, worthy Banquo, he is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Let's after him, whose care is gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfect's report they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me. and referred me to the coming on of time with "Hail, King, that shalt be." This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dews of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature. It is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, but not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst strongly win. Thou'dst have, great Glamis, that which cries, thus thou must do if thou have it, and that which rather thou dost fear to do than wishest should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise with the valor of my tongue all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
I'm mad to say it. Is not thy master with him? Who whatso would have informed for preparation?
So please you, it is true, our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who almost dead for breath, had scarcely more than would make up his message.
Give him tending. He brings great news. Raven himself is horse that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe top full of direst cruelty. Make thick my blood, stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breasts and take my milk for gall, you murthering ministers, wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief. Come, thick night, and pour thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peep through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold, hold.
Hereafter.
Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I feel now the future in the instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
When goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Oh, never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my Thanes, is a book where men may read strange matters. To beguile the time, look like the time. Bear welcome in your eye, your hand, your tongue. Look like the innocent flower, but be the serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall put this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our nights and days to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favor ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
a pleasant seat. The air nimbly and sweetly recommends itself unto our gentle senses.
This guest of summer, the temple-haunting martlet, does approve by this love mansionry that the heaven's breath smells wooingly here. No jutty frieze, buttress, nor coign advantage, but this bird hath made his pendant bed and procreant cradle. Where they most breed and haunt, I have observed the air is delicate.
See our honored hostess. The love that follows us sometime is our trouble, which still we thank as love. Herein I bid you that you learn how God healed us for your pains and thank us for your trouble.
All our service at every point twice done and then done double were poor and single business to contend against those honors, deep and broad, wherewith your majesty loads our house. For those of old and the late dignities heaped up to them, we rest your hermits.
Where's the Thane of Cawdor? We coursed him at the heels and had a purpose to be his purveyor. But he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath holp him to his home before us. Fair and noble hostess, we are your guest tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves and what is theirs, in compt to make their audit at your highness' pleasure, still to return your own.
Give me your hand. Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and shall continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done when 'tis done, then were well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his surcease success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all. Here, but here, upon this bank and school of time, we jump the life to come. But in these cases we still have judgment here, that we but teach bloody instructions, which being taught return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman and his subject, strong both against the deed, then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath borne his faculties so meek, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off. And pity, like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim, horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spur to prick the size of my intent, but only vaulting ambition which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other.
How now, what news?
He's almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Have you asked for me?
No, you're not, he has.
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honored me of late, and I have bought golden opinions from all sorts of people, which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Had it slept since and wakes it now to look so green and pale at what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou afeard to be the same in thine own act and valour as thou art in desire? Would thou have that which thou esteems the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem, letting I dare not wait upon I would like the poor cat in the adage?
Let thee peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was it then that made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be more than what you were, you would be so much more the man. No time nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I've given suck, and know how tender 'tis to love the babe that milks me. I would, while it was smiling in my face, have plucked my nipple from its boneless gums and dashed its brains out had I so sworn as you had done to this.
If we should fail?
We fail. But screw your courage to the sticking place and we'll not fail. when Duncan is asleep. The whereto rather shall his hard day's journey soundly invite him. His 2 chamberlains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a fume, and the receipt of reason a limbeck only. When in swinish sleep their drenched natures lie as in a death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy offices, who shall bear the guilt of our great quell?
Bring forth men, children only, for thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Might not be received when we have marked with blood those sleepy 2 of his own chamber, used their very daggers that they have done it.
Who dares receive it other? For we shall make our griefs and clamours roar upon his death.
I am settled. Bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away and mock the time with fairest show. False heart must hide what the false face doth know.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I've not heard the clock.
She goes down at 12?
I take this later, sir.
Hold. Take my sword. There's husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. A heavy summons lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Take me that too. Powers restrain in me the cursed thoughts that nature gives way to in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there, friend? What, sir? Not yet at rest? The king's abed. He hath been an unusual pleasure, and sent forth great largesse to your offices. This diamond he greets your wife withal by the name of most kind hostess, and shut up in measureless content.
Being unprepared, our will became the servant to defect, which else should free have wrought.
All's well. I dreamt last night of the 3 weird sisters. To you, they have showed some truth.
I think that of them. Yet when we can entreat an hour to serve, we would spend it in some words upon that business. If you would grant the time.
At your kind pleasure.
If you shall, leave me the time. When 'tis, it shall make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it, but still keep my bosom franchised and my allegiance clear. I shall be counseled.
Good repose a while.
Thanks, sir. The like to you.
Go bid thy mistress she strike upon the bell when my drink is ready. Get thee to bed. Is this a dagger which I see before me, the handle toward my hand? Come, let me clutch thee. Have thee not, and yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind, a false creation proceeding from the heat of blessed brain? I see thee still, in form as palpable as this which now I draw. Thou marshallest me the way that I was going, and such an instrument I was to use. Mine eyes have been the fools of the other senses, or else worth all the rest. I see thee yet, and on thy dudgeon, and blade, gouts of blood which were not so before. There's no such thing. It is the bloody business which informed us to mine eyes. Now o'er the one half world nature seems dead, and wicked dreams abuse the curtained sleep. Witchcraft celebrates pale Hecate's offerings, and withered murder, alarmed by his sentinel, the wolf, whose howls his watch, and thus with his stealthy pace, with Tarquin's ravishing strides, towards his design moves like a ghost. Sure and firm, Seraph, not my steps which way they walk, For fear thy very stones prate of my whereabouts. Oh, and take present horror from the time which now suits with it. Whiles I tread, he lives. Words the heat of deeds too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Now, please. It was the owl that cried. The fatal bellman that gives the sternest good night. He is about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I have drugged their possets, that death and nature do contend about them, whether they live or die.
Who's there?
Alack, I'm afraid the waiting is not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Hark! They their daggers ready, could not miss him. Had he not resembled my father as he slept, I'd have done it. My husband.
I've done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
Oh, the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did not you speak?
When?
No.
As I descended?
Aye.
Hark! Who lies in the second chamber?
Don't obey.
This is a sorry sight.
Foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
There was one that laughed in his sleep, and one cried murder, ready to wake each other. I stood and heard them. But they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep.
They're two lodged together.
And one cried, God bless us. And amen the other. As they had seen me with these hangmen's hands listening their fear, I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
But wherefore could not I pronounce amen? I had most need of blessing. And amen stuck in my throat.
Deeds must not be thought after these ways, so it'll make us mad.
And methought I heard a voice cry, sleep no more. Macbeth does murder sleep, the innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the ravelled sleeve of care. The death of each day's life. Sore labour's bath, balm of hurt minds. Great nature's second course. Chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more to all the house. Glamis hath murdered sleep, and therefore Corda shall sleep no more. Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? Why, worthy Thane, you do unbend your noble strength to think so brain-sickly of things. Go, get some water and wash this filthy witness from your hands. Why did you bring these daggers from the place? They must lie there. Go, carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think what I have done. Look on again, I dare not.
For my purpose, give me the daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. It is the eye of childhood that fear the painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the grooms withal, for it must seem there.
Answer that knocking. How is it with me when every noise appalls me? What hands have we here? They pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's ocean wash this blood free from my hands? No. This my hand will rather the multitudinous seas incarnadine, making the green one red.
My hands are of your color, but ashamed to wear a heart so white. Here, knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy is it then? Your constancy hath left you unattended. No knocking. Put on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deed. Oh, 'twere best not know myself.
Awake, Duncan, with thy knocking. I would thou couldst.
This is knocking indeed. If a man were porter of Hellgate, he'd have old turning the key. Knock, knock, knock. Who's there in the name of Beelzebub? Here's a farmer that hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come in time. Have napkins now about you. Here, you'll sweat for it. Knock, knock. Who's there in the other devil's name? Faith is an equivocator who could swear in both the scales against either scale, who committed treason enough for God's sake, and yet could not equivocate to heaven. Come in. Equivocator. Knock, knock, knock. Faith. Here's an English tailor coming for stealing out of a French hose. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your gooses. Knock, knock, never that quiet. What are you? Oh, this place is too cold for hell. Our devil portrait no further. I had thought to have let in some of all professions to go the primrose way to the everlasting bonfire. Anon, anon. I pray you, sir, remember the porter.
Was it so late, friend, ere you went to bed that you do lie so late?
Why, sir, we were carousing till the second cock.
Yes. Is thy master stirring? You are knocking at awake him. Here he comes.
Good morrow, noble sir. Good morrow.
Is the king stirring, worthy thane?
Not yet.
He did command me to call timely on him. I have almost slipped the hour.
I'll bring you to him.
I know this is a joyful trouble to you, but yet 'tis one.
The labor we delight in physics pain. This is his door.
I'll make so bold to call, for 'tis my limited service.
Goes the king hence today?
He does. He did appoint so.
The night has been unruly. Where we lay, our chimneys were blown down, and as they say, lamentings heard in the air. Strange screams of death and prophesying with accents terrible, of dire combustion and confused events new hatched to the woeful time. The obscure bird clamored the livelong night. Some say the earth was feverous and did shake.
'Twas a rough night.
Yeah, my young remembrance cannot parallel a fellow to it.
Horror! 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 Tongue nor heart cannot conceive nor name thee.
What is the matter?
The matter?
Confusion now hath made his masterpiece. Most sacrilegious murder hath broke up the Lord's anointed temple and stole thence the life of the building.
What does she say, the life?
Me, his majesty?
Approach the chamber and destroy your sight with a new gorgon. Do not be speak. See and then speak yourselves. Wake! Awake! Bring me a ladder, man! Murder and treason! Thy common Dunlebane mount, come awake! Shake off this downy sleep, that counterfeit, and look on death itself! Up! Up and see the great doom's image! Now come thankful, and from your graves rise up a most like stripes to countenance this horror! Ring the bell!
And such a hideous trumpet calls to parley the speakers of the house. Speak! Speak!
Gentle lady, do not even hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. Banquo! Banquo, our royal master's murdered.
Oh, alas, what in our house?
Too cruel anywhere. Dear, doth I prithee contradict thyself and say it is not so. That I would die, and now with all this chance. I have lived a blessed time. For from this instant there is nothing serious in mortality. All is but toys. Renown and grace is dead. The wine of life is drawn, and a mere lees is left this vault to brag of.
What is amiss?
You are, and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped. The very source of it is stopped.
Your royal father's murdered.
By whom? Those of his chamber, as it seems, done it.
Their hands and faces were all badged with blood. So were their daggers, which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them.
Or yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them.
Huh?
Wherefore did you so?
Well, who can be wise, amazed, temperate and furious, neutral and loyal at a moment? No man. The expedition of my violent love outrun the pause of reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin, laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature for ruin's wasteful entrance. They're the murderers, steeped in the colors of their trade, and the daggers unmannerly breached with gore. But who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make his love known?
Help me, Hansel!
Oh, look to the lady. Why do we hold our tongues that most may claim this argument for ours?
What should be spoken here where our fate, hidden in auger hole, may rush and seize us? Let's away. Our tears are not yet brewed.
Nor our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion.
Look to the lady.
When we have our naked frailties hid that suffer in exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fears and scruple shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice.
And so do I.
And so all. Let us briefly put on manly readiness and meet together in the hall.
Do so.
Content.
Well.
Let's not consort with them. What will you do? To show an unfelt sorrow is the office which a false man does easy. I'll to England.
To Ireland, I. Our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers and men's smiles. The near in blood, the nearer bloody.
This murderous shaft that shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. Therefore to horse, and let's not be dainty of leave-taking, but shift away. There's warrant in that theft which steals itself, and there's no mercy left.
Thou hast it now. King, Cawdor, Glamis, all as the weird women promised. And I fear thou playedst most foully for it.
Thus is nothing, but to be safely thus. Our fears in Banquo stick deep, and in his royalty of nature reigns that which would be feared. 'Tis much he dares, and to the dauntless temper of his mind, he hath a wisdom that doth guide his valor to act in safety. There is none but he whose being I do fear. And under him my genius is rebuked, as it is said Mark Antony's was by Caesar. He chid the sisters when first they put the name of king upon me, and bade them speak to him. Then prophet-like they hailed him father to a line of kings. Upon my head they placed a fruitless crown, and put a barren scepter in my gripe, thence to be wrenched with an unlineal hand, no son of mine succeeding. If it be so, for Banquo's issue have I piled my mind. For them, the gracious Duncan, have I murdered, and put rancors in the vessel of my peace, only for them, to make them kings. The seeds of Banquo kings? Rather than so, come fate into the list, and champion me to the utterance.
Lord's hand, all spent. Where our desire is got without content, 'tis safer to be that which we destroy than by destruction dwell in doubtful joy. And now, my lord, why do you keep alone? Of sorriest fancies your companions making, using those thoughts which should indeed have died with them they think on.
Things without all remedy should be without regard. What's done is done.
We have scotched the snake, not killed it. She'll close and be herself, whilst our poor Malice remains in danger of her former tooth. But let the frame of things disjoint both the worlds suffer. Ere we will eat our meal in fear and sleep in the affliction of these terrible dreams that shake us nightly. Better be with the dead whom we, to gain our peace, have sent to peace, than on the torture of the mind to lie in restless ecstasy. Duncan is in his grave. After life's fitful fever, he sleeps well. Treason has done his worst. Nor steel, nor poison, malice domestic, foreign levy, nothing can touch him further.
Gentle, my lord. Sleek o'er your rugged looks. Be bright and jovial among your guests tonight.
So shall I, love. And so I pray be you. Let your remembrance apply to Banquo. Present him eminence both with eye and tongue. And saith the while that we must lave our honours in these flattering streams and make our faces bydards to our hearts, disguising what they are.
You must leave this.
Oh, full of scorpions is my mind, dear wife. Thou knowest that Banquo and his fleance lives.
But in them nature's copy is not eternal.
Others comfort yet. They are assailable. And be thou jocund. Ere the bat hath flown his cloistered flight, ere to black Hecate summons the sharp-born beetle with his drowsy hums, hath rung night's yawning peal, there shall be done a deed of dreadful note.
What's to be done?
Be innocent of the knowledge, dearest Chuck, till thou applaud the deed. Come, sealing night, scarf up the tender eye of pitiful day, and with thy bloody and invisible hand, cancel and tear to pieces this great bond which keeps me pale. Light thickens. The crow makes wing to the rooky wood. Good things of day begin to droop and drowse, whiles night's black agents to their praise do rouse. Thou marvelest at my words. But hold you still. Things bad begun make strong themselves by ill.
But who did bid thee join with us?
Macbeth.
He needs not our mistrust, since he delivers our offices and what we have to do to the direction just.
Then stand with us. The west yet glimmers with some streaks of day. Now spurs the later traveller apace to gain the timely inn, and near approaches the subject of our watch.
Hark! I hear horses.
Give us some light here, ho!
Then 'tis he. The rest that are within the note of expectation already are in the court.
His horses go about. Almost a mile, but he does usually so all men do. From hence to the palace gate maketh their walk. A light, a light, 'tis he.
Stand to it.
Will be rain tonight.
Let it come down! Treachery! Fly, good prince! Fly! Fly! Fly, thou mayst revenge!
Who did strike out the light?
Was not the way.
There's but one down, the sun has fled!
We have lost the best half of our affair.
Well, let's away and say how much is done.
punished.
My lord, his throat is cut. That I did for him.
Thou art the best of the cutthroats. Yet good is he that did delight for fleance. If thou didst it, thou art the non-parry.
Most royal sir, Fleance is escaped.
Then comes my fit again. Had else been perfect. Whole as a marble, founded as a rock. As broad and general as a casing air. But now I am cabined, cribbed, confined, bound into saucy doubts and fears. But Banquo safe.
Aye, my good lord. Safe in a ditch he bides, with 20 trenched gashes on his head. The least a death to nature.
Thanks for that. There the grown serpent lies. The worm that's fled hath nature that in time will venom breed. No teeth for the present. Get thee gone. We'll hear ourselves again tomorrow.
Do not give the cheer. Feast is sold, it is not often vouched while 'tis a making. 'Tis given with welcome. To feed were best at home. From thence the source to meet is ceremony. Meeting were bare without it.
Sweet remembrance, sir. Now good digestion wait on appetite, and health on both.
May it please your highness, sit.
Here had we now our country's honour roofed, with the graced person of our Banquo present, who I rather challenge for unkindness than pity for mischance.
His absence, sir, lays blame upon his promise. Please your highness to grace us with your royal company.
The table's full.
Oh, here is a place reserved, sir.
Where?
Oh, here, my good lord. What is that moves your majesty?
Which of you have done this?
What, my good lord?
Thou canst not say I did it. Never shake thy gory locks at me.
Gentlemen, rise. His highness is not well.
Sit, worthy friends. My lord is often thus, and hath been from his youth. Pray you keep seat. The fit is momentary. Upon a thought he will be well again. If much you note him, you shall offend him, and extend his passion. Feed and regard him not. Oh, man.
Aye, and a bold one that dares look upon that which might appall the devil.
Stuff. This is the very painting of your fear. This is the air-drawn dagger which you said led you to Duncan. Oh, these flaws and starts. Impostors to true fear would well become a woman's story at a winter's fire, authorized by a grand dame. Why, for shame, why do you make such faces when all's done? You look but on a stool.
Prithee, see there. Behold, look low, how say you?
Why? What care I if thou canst nod? Speak too. If charnel houses and our graves must send those that we bury back, our monuments shall be the maws of kites.
Quite a man in folly.
I stand here, I saw him.
Why, for shame.
It's been that when the brains were out, the man would die, and there an end. But now, they rise again, with 20 mortal murders on their crowns, and push us from our stools. This is more strange than such a murder is.
My worthy lord, your noble friends do lack you.
Do forget. Do not muse at me, my most worthy friends. I have a strange infirmity which is nothing to those that know me. Come, health and health to all. Then I will sit down. Give me some wine, fill full. I drink to the general joy of the whole table. And to our dear friend Banquo, whom we miss, would he were here. Aye. To all in here we thirst. And all to all.
Our duties are pledged. My lord, you are yourself.
And
A fight is good by sight! Thy bones are marrowless, thy blood is cold. Thou hast no speculation in those eyes which thou dost glare with.
Think of this, good peers, but as a thing of custom. 'Tis no other, only it spoils the pleasure of the time.
What man dares I dare? Approach thou like the rugged Russian bear, the armed rhinoceros, or the Hyrcan tiger. Take any shape but that, my firm nerve shall never tremble. Or be alive again, and dare me to the desert with thy sword. If trembling I inhabit then, protest me the baby of a girl. Intolerable presence, open your mouth to your head! Why so? Being gone, I am a man again. Prithee, sit still.
Displaced the mirth, broke the good meeting with the most admired disorder.
How can such things be and overcome us like a summer's cloud without our special wonder? You make me strange, even to the disposition that I owe, when I think now you can behold such sights and keep the natural ruby of your cheeks, when mine is blanched with fear.
what sights, my lord?
Oh, pray you speak not, he grows worse and worse. Question enrages him. At once, good night.
Stand not upon the order of your going, but go at once.
Good night. Better health attend His Majesty.
A kind good night to all.
It will have blood, they say. Blood will have blood. Stones have been known to move, and trees to speak. Augurs and understood relations have, by maggot pies and rooks and chuffs, brought forth the secretest man of blood. What is the night?
Almost at odds with morning. Which is which?
How sayest you that Macduff denies his person at our great bidding?
Did you send to him, sir?
I hear it by the way, but I will send. There's not a one of them, but in his house I keep a servant feed. I will tomorrow, and betimes I will to the weird sisters. More shall they speak. For now I am bent to know by the worst means the worst. For mine own good all causes shall give way. I'm in blood, steeped in so far, that should I wade no more, returning were as tedious as go o'er. Strange things I have in mind, that will to hand, which must be acted, ere they may be scanned.
You lack the season of all natures. Sleep.
Come, will to sleep. My strange and self-abuse is the initiate fear that wants hard use. We are yet but young indeed.
Double, double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. By the breaking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Open locks, whoever knocks.
How now, you secret black and midnight hags? What is to do?
A deed without a name.
I conjure you by that which you profess, howe'er you come to know and answer.
Speak, demand. We'll answer. Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth. Beware Macduff. Beware the vain Fife. Dismiss me now. Macbeth, Macbeth, Macbeth.
Had I 3 years, I'd hear thee.
Be bloody, bold, and resolute. Laugh to scorn the power of man. For none of woman born shall harm Macbeth.
Then live, Macduff. What need I fear of thee?
Be lion-mannered, proud, and take no care who chieves, who frets, or where conspirers are. Macbeth shall never vanquished be, until great Burnham Wood to high Dunsinane Hill shall come against him.
Where are they? Gone? From this moment, the very firstlings of my heart shall be the firstlings of my hand. And even now, to crown my thoughts with acts, be it thought and done. The castle of Macduff I will surprise, seize upon Fife, and give to the edge of the sword his wife, his babes, and all unfortunate souls that trace him in his line.
Thou art mine, I will
Sarah, your father's dead. What will you do now? How will you live?
As birds do, Mother.
What, with worms and flies?
With what I get, I mean, and so do they.
Poor bird. Thou'lt never fear the net nor line, the pitfall nor the gin.
Why should I, Mother? Poor birds, they are not set for. My father's not dead for all your sake.
Yes, he is dead. And how wilt thou do for a father?
Nay, how wilt thou do for a husband?
Why, I can buy me 20 at any market.
Then you'll buy him to sell again.
Thou speakst with all thy wit, and yet your faith with wit enough for thee.
Was my father a traitor, Mother?
Aye, that he was.
What is a traitor?
Why, one that swears and lies.
And be all traitors that do so?
Everyone that does so is a traitor, and must be hanged.
And must they all be hanged that swear and lie?
Everyone.
Who must hang them?
Why, the honest men.
Then the swearers and liars are fools, for there are swearers and liars enow to beat the honest men and hang up them.
Now God help thee, poor monkey. But how wilt thou do, father?
If he were dead, you would weep for him. If you would not, it were a good sign that I should quickly have a new father.
Poor prattler, how thou talkst.
Sir Lady, I am not to you known, though in your state of honor I am perfect. I doubt some danger does approach you nearly. If you will take a homely man's advice, be not found here. Hence with your little ones. To fight you thus, methinks I am too savage. To do worse to you a fell cruelty which is too nigh your person. Heaven preserve you, I dare abide no longer.
Whither should I fly? I have done no harm. But I remember now I am in this earthly world, where to do harm is often laudable, to do good sometime accounted dangerous folly. Why then, alas, do I put up that womanly defense to say I have done no harm.
Where is thy husband?
I hope in no place so unsanctified where such as thou mayst find him.
He's a traitor.
Don't be raised, thou shaggy villain.
You egg, young bride of treachery.
He is killing me, Mother. Run away, I pray you.
I shall crave your pardon. My first false speaking was this upon myself. What I am truly is thine and my poor country's to command. Whither indeed, before thy here approach, old Seward with 10,000 warlike men, already at a point we're setting forth. Now we'll together, and our chance of goodness be like our warranted quarrel. Why are you silent?
Such welcome and unwelcome things at once. 'Tis hard to reconcile.
What ho!
Who comes here?
A countryman, but yet I know him not.
My ever gentle cousin, welcome hither.
I know him now. Good God, but time's removed the means that makes us strangers.
Sir, amen.
Stand Scotland as it did.
Alas, poor country, almost afraid to know itself. Cannot be called our mother, but our grave. Where nothing but who knows nothing was once seen to smile. The sighs and groans and shrieks that rent the air are made not marked. Their violent sorrow seems a modern ecstasy. The dead man's knell is there scarce asked for who. And good men's lives expire before the flowers in their caps, dying or ere they sicken.
Oh, relation, too nice, and yet too true.
What's the newest grief?
That of an hour's age doth hiss the speaker. Each minute teems a new one.
Here. How does my wife?
Why, well.
And all my children?
Well, too.
The tyrant hath not battered at their peace.
No. They were well at peace when I did leave them.
Well, be not a niggard of your speech. How goest?
When I came hither to transport the tidings which I have heavily borne, there ran a rumor of many worthy fellows that were out, which was to my mind witness the rather for that I saw the tyrant's tower afoot. Now is the time of truth. Your eye in Scotland would create soldiers, Make our women fight to doff their dire distresses.
Be it their comfort, we are coming thither. Gracious England hath lent us good seawood and 10,000 men. An older and better soldier none that Christendom gives out.
Would I could answer this comfort with a like. But I have words that should be howled out in the desert air where hearing should not latch them.
Well, what concern they? The general cause? Is it a fee grief due to some single breast?
No mind that's honest, but in it bears some woe, though the main part pertains to you alone.
Well, if it be mine, keep it not from me. Quickly, let me have it.
Let not your ears despise my tongue forever, which shall possess them with the heaviest sound that ever yet they heard.
I guess at it.
Your castle is surprised, your wife and babes savagely slaughtered. To relate the manner whereon the bodies of these murdered deer, to add the death of you.
Heavens!
What man gives sorrow words? The grief that does not speak whispers the o'erfraught heart and bids it break.
My children, too.
Wife, children, servants, all that could be found.
And I must be from thence. My wife killed too?
I have said.
Be comforted. Let us make medicines of our great revenge to cure this deadly grief.
He has no children. All my pretty ones. Did you say all? Oh, hell, kite! Home? But all my pretty chickens and their dam at one fell swoop.
Dispute it like a man.
I shall do so. But I must also feel it as a man. I cannot but remember such things were that were most precious to me. Did heaven look on and would not take their part? Sinful Macbeth, they were all struck for thee. Not that I am. Not to their own demerits, but for mine fell slaughter on their souls. Heaven rest them now.
Let this be the whetstone of your sword. Let grief convert to anger. Blunt not the heart, enrage it.
Oh, I could play the woman with mine eyes and braggart with my tongue. The gentle heavens, cut short all intermission. Front to front bring now this fiend of Scotland and myself. Within my sword length set him. If he scape, heaven forgive him too.
I have 2 nights watched with you, but could perceive no truth in your report.
Oh.
When was it she last walked?
Since His Majesty went into the field, I have seen her rise from her bed, throw her nightgown upon her, unlock her closet, take forth paper, fold it, write on it, read it, afterwards seal it, and then again return to bed. Yet all this while in a most fast sleep.
Great perturbation in nature, thus to receive the benefits of sleep and do the effects of watching. In this slumbery agitation, besides her walking and other actual performances, what at any time have you heard her say?
Oh, that's so which I will not report after her.
You may to me, and 'tis most meet you should.
Neither to you nor anyone, having no witness to confirm my speech. Lo, you, here she comes. This is her very guise, and upon my life fast asleep. Observe her, stand close.
How came she by that light?
Why, it stood by her. She has light by her continually. 'Tis her command.
You see, her eyes are open.
Aye, but their senses are shut.
What is it she does now? Look how she rubs her hands.
It is an accustomed action with her to seem thus washing her hands. I have known her continue in this a quarter of an hour.
It is a spot. Whilst she speaks, I'll set down what comes from her to satisfy my remembrance the more strongly.
Then spot out, I say! Then 'tis time to do it.
hell is murky. My lord, fire, soldier, and afeard, what need we fear? Who knows it when none can call our power to account? Yet who would have thought the old man to have so much blood in him?
You mark that?
The Thane of Fife had a wife. Where is she now? What will his hands ne'er be clean? No more of that, my lord, no more of that, your marrow with this starting.
Go to, you have known what you should not.
And she has spoke what she should not, I'm sure of that. Heaven knows what she has known.
But here's the smell of the blood still. All the perfumes of Arabia will not sweeten this little hand.
What a size there. The heart is sorely charged.
I would not have such a heart in my bosom for the dignity of the whole body.
Well.
Oh, pray God it be so.
This disease is beyond my practice. I have known those who walk in their sleep who have died wholly in their beds.
Wash your hands. Put on your nightgown. Look not so pale. I tell you yet again, Banquo is buried. He cannot come out on his grave.
Even so.
To bed. To bed. He's knocking at the gate. Come. Come. What's done cannot be undone. To bed. To bed.
Will she now go to bed?
Directly.
Strange whisperings are abroad. Unnatural deeds do breed unnatural troubles. Infected minds to their death pillows will discharge their secrets. More needs she the divine than the physician. God forgive us all. Look after her. Remove from her the means of all annoyance and still keep eyes upon her. So good night. My mind, she's mated and amazed by sight. I think, but dare not speak.
Good night, good doctor.
Bring me no more, of course, let them fly all. Oh, born of woods and woods of Dunsinane, I cannot take with fear. What's the boy Malcolm? Was he not born a woman? The spirits that know all mortal consequences have pronounced me thus. Fear not, Macbeth, for no man that's born of woman shall e'er have power upon thee. Men fly full stains and mingle with the English epicures. For the mind I sway by, and the heart I bear, shall never sag with doubt nor shake with fear. Oh, the devil damn thee, black, thou cream-faced loon. Where gottest thou that goose look?
There is 10,000.
Geese villain?
Soldiers, sir.
Go prick thy face and overhead thy fear, thou lily-livered boy. What soldiers? Death of thy soul, those linen cheeks of thine are counsellors to fear. What soldiers, way face?
The English force, so please.
Take up his hands! Satan, I'm sick at heart when I behold. Satan, I say! This push will cheer me ever, or deceit me now. I've lived long enough. The way of life has fallen into the sere, the yellow leaf. And that which should accompany old age as honor, love, obedience, troops of friends, I must not look to have, but in their stead, curses, not loud, but deep, mouth honor, breath, which the poor heart would fain deny, and dare not. Satan!
What is your gracious pleasure?
Now what news more?
All is confirmed, my lord, which was reported.
Now I'll fight! Though from my bones my flesh be hacked. Give me my armor.
'Tis not needed yet.
I'll put it on. Here, send out more horses. Scur the country around. Hang those that talk of fear. Get me my armor. How does your patient, doctor?
Not so sick, my lord, as she is troubled with thick-coming fancies that keep her from her rest.
Cure her of that. Canst thou not minister to a mind diseased? Pluck from the memory a rooted sorrow? Raise out the written troubles of the brain, and with some sweet oblivious antidote,
Cleanse the stuffed bosom of that perilous stuff which weighs upon the heart. Therein the patient must minister to himself.
Throw it to the dogs, I'll none of it. Come put on my armor. Give me my staff. Sit and send out. Doctor, the fiends fly from me. Oh, come, sir, dispatch. If thou couldst, Doctor, cast the waters of my land, find her disease, and purge it to a sound and pristine health, I would applaud thee to the very echo that you'd applaud again. Pull it off, I see. What, rhubarb, senna, or what purgative drug would score those English hens? Hearest thou of them?
Aye, my good lord. Your royal preparation makes us hear something.
Bring it after me. I will not be afraid of death and bane till Burnham would remove the Dunsinane.
For I from Dunsinane away and clear, profit again would hardly draw me here.
Hang out those banners on the output walls! The cry is still they come! Our castle's strength will laugh the siege to scorn! Here let them lie till famine and age you eat them up! Only not fault for those that should be ours. We might have met them there from beard to beard and beat them backward home. What was that noise?
It is the cry of women, my good lord.
I've almost forgot the taste of fears. Time has been, my senses would have cooled to hear a night's shriek. My fell of hair would, at a dismal treatise, rouse and stir as life won't. I've supped full with horrors. And iron is familiar to my slaughterous thoughts, cannot once stop me.
Hey! Wherefore was that cry?
The Queen, my lord, is dead.
She should have died hereafter. There would have been a time for such a word. Tomorrow, and tomorrow, and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools away to dusty death. Out. Out, brief candle. Life's but a walking shadow. A mere player who struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. 'Tis a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
My lord! Thou comest to use thy tongue, thy story quickly.
Please, my lord, I can report that which I say I saw, but know not how to do it.
I'll say, sir.
As I did stand my watch upon the hill, and looked toward Burnham, and anon methought the woods began to move.
Liar! And slave!
Let me endure your wrath if it be not so. Within this 3 mile may you see it coming. I say, a moving grove.
If thou speakst false, upon the next tree shalt thou hang alive till famine cling thee.
Thy speech be sooth. I care not. Thou dost for me as much. I pull in resolution and begin to doubt the equivocation of the fiend that lies like truth. Fear not till Burnham wood do come to Dunsinane. And now a wood comes toward Dunsinane.
Arm! Arm and out!
This which he approaches does appear. There's no flying hence, nor tarrying here. I begin to be weary of the sun. I wish this state of the world were now undone.
Ring the alarm bell! Oh, when come back! At least we'll die with harness on our back!
Why should I play the Roman fool and die on mine own sword? Whiles I see lives, the gashes do better upon them.
Turn, hellhound! Turn!
Of all men else I have avoided thee. Get thee back!
My soul is too much charged with blood of thine already.
I have no words. My voice is in my sword, thou bloodier villain than terms can give thee up.
Thou losest labor. Easy minister, the intention ere with thy keen sword and priceless make me bleed. I fall thy blade on vulnerable crests. I bear a charmed life, which must not yield to one a woman born.
Spare thy charm, and let the angel whom thou still hast served tell thee. Macbeth was from his mother's womb, untimely ripped.
Augustus! That tongue that tells me so. I coldness as the heart of man. And be these juggling fiends no more believed, that palter with us in the double sense, that keep the word of promise to our ear, and break it to our hope. I'll not fight with thee.
Then yield thee, coward, and live to be the show and gaze of the time. We'll have thee as our rarer monsters are, painted upon a pole and underwrit. Here may you see the tyrant.
I will not yield to kiss the ground before young Malcolm's feet, and to be baited with the rabble's cast. Would you come to Dunsinane, and thou opposed being of no woman born. Yet will I try the last, and damned be him that first cried, holy out!
Hail, King, for so thou art. Behold where lies the usurper's cursed head. The time is free. I see thee compassed with thy kingdom's pearl, who speak my salutation in their minds, whose voices I desire aloud with mine. Hail, King of Scotland!
Hail, King of Scotland! We shall not spend a large expense of time before we reckon with your several loves and make us even with you. My thanes and kinsmen, henceforth be earls, the first that ever Scotland in such honor named. What's more to do, which would be planted newly with the time, as calling home our exiled friends abroad that fled the snares of watchful tyranny, producing forth the cruel ministers of this dead butcher and this fiend-like queen, who as 'tis thought, with self and violent hands took off her life. This, and what needful else calls upon us, by the grace of grace we shall perform in measure, time, and place. So thanks to you all at once, and to each one whom we invite to see us crowned at Scone.